Hi there, this is Bridget from the Planner Speechy. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a plan with me for the week of April 21st through the 27th, 2025. I'm using this kit called Fern by Leonard Designs. I think this art came out a while ago, but I think it's all for Fern Gully. So I'll just go through the kit briefly. I printed and cut everything myself, so if you see any errors or like jagged edges, that's on me. I I haven't seen Fern Gully in a long time. I need to rewatch it. But I thought this would be a perfect Earth Day kit, and I'm all about it. There were some extras that I just didn't print with this because I didn't feel like I need them, but I have a ton of different foil things that I've been sort of piecing together. So I have a custom script from Planet Hannah, and I use this kind of like groovy font. The foil I used for this is green tie-dye. I just thought it would be kind of different. I have this foil bundle from Scribble Prints Co. I think it's called Emerald, but it's like Celestial is the name of the bundle. This was one of the $5 bundles I got when she had a major sale. So it's got very 80s vibes to it, I think. But I just love the color. It's sort of like a dark green hollow color. It's really pretty. And then there's the washi. And then I have these extras. These are like shattered purple flags. I thought would be kind of fun with this. This was a random extra from, let's see, it was like a free 10 thing that I got from her. I want to say this foil is called Malibu. I can't be sure though because it didn't actually say. And I was going to use just these two before I found this foil bundle. And then I was like, you know what? I have the foil. Let's use the foil up. And then last but not least, I have these solid underlays in green tie-dye. I just think they're fun. Come on. So anyway, I am going to be laying everything down. Depending on how talkative I am, I might speed things up and come back in a voiceover. I've not been very successful at doing this while putting the stickers down at the same time. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Hey everybody, welcome to another plan with me. I'm sorry that this video is going up a few days late. I was having a really rough weekend. The weekend I was supposed to edit this voiceover, and I needed some me time, so I took it. I did film this separate video for base laydown, which you can watch on my YouTube channel, and I'll just link it in the cards above. But as I mentioned already, this is a Leonard Designs kit, and I love the way the colors just pop. It's so different from the previous plan with me that I did, which was very muted and had a lot of pastels and had lavender hollow and hollow foils. This is like bright in your face. I mean, look at that foil. Holy cow. Like really, really different. And so I love that working in planners means you can do that, that you can be so different. This green tie-dye foil was really fun to use, and I think I'd want to use it again. I think it's a really cool, even if you don't use it as a solid, if you're just using it for customs like scripts or just general underlays, bundles, things like that. I think it's a really cool font, and I really haven't seen it used anywhere else except for Planet Hannah shop. There's also blue tie-dye, which I think could also be a really fun alternative if you're going for like a blue hollow or something like that. And I gotta say, like having just a solid with a really cool foil on the bottom made all the difference in this plan with me, and I didn't have to do that much extra work. So I'm all for these solid underlays with like wacky foils. Like, let's just do it, people. Let's just keep doing it. Um, anyway, this art is based on the movie Fern Gully, which it is now May 15th when I'm recording this voiceover, and I have still not rewatched this movie. So I need somebody out there to go and rewatch it and tell me if it's still good, because it might be terrible, but I don't care. Nostalgia is king, you know? So I really liked the Celestial bundle from Scroll Prints Co. I think this was fun. And this was kind of neat because it was like a dark green hollow. So definitely check that one out. I didn't really know where else to use it, but I'm glad I was able to use it for this kit. And then I just piled on all of the art with Batty up at the top. And so, so cute. So, yeah, let's see. Um, this was kind of a wild week. So I was coming off of a week-long spring break, which is always frightening when you work in the school setting because you never know what kids are going to come back. And I was really I'm excited to say that I felt like the kids adjusted really, really well coming back from a week-long break. I think a week break is actually the perfect amount of time because it's enough time for you to relax and really enjoy yourself or take a visit or a short trip. But it's not too long where the kids like forget how to behave in school. So that is really, really cool. Also, you only miss a week of therapy, which is not so guilt-inducing as like Christmas break, which is much longer. So, but I just got crafty and cut that full box in half, so I was able to use for the two different scenes, and I think that worked really, really well. And then the overlays are just really for fun, for funsies. Um, this was Earth Day week, which is why I chose to use this kit this week. And I did have Monday off, so when we get into the day by day, it's just going to look pretty bland. I didn't have as much to share for this week, even though I had a lot going on. So, um, and I loved using the mix of foils of that dark pink with the dark green. Just really fun. That script is from Carly Plans, and she does you can buy all of the months of the year. You get 5 of each month, and then you can choose the script. So it's really functional. Great deal, especially if you have an undated planner like I do. I saw a lot of the dated planners came out recently. They are in Condren specifically, but Sadie Stickers also has her planner out. And I kind of do, I mean, I miss the spiral planner just because everything is in one place, but I do love being able to like maneuver things and cut things out. And my planner is already really, really thick. So, and it's only half the year. So let's get into the day by day, shall we? Let's do it. So April, I had the day off, so I definitely marked that. And it's lovely having the Monday after a week-long day off. I think that should be the norm. Just no Mondays in general should be the norm, but I think that's totally fair. Um, so I had a lot of Sunday scaries. It was technically Monday scaries, but that day off script is just from my foiled collection. Um, I didn't do a coffee run, but I did make coffee. And then that coffee cup is from the Crafty Banana. I binge watched a lot of TV this day. Um, and I did work on an eval report because I had some IP meetings happening this week. Um, I did do some laundry. So I used, and you can see my flags didn't cut very well on one of my sheets, but that's okay. They're still functional. So, um, and I did have therapy, and I had therapy at home through teletherapy. So this little munchkin from Once More with Love is kind of whatever. That cat is from Sweet Avis Paper, and I was definitely in my feelings. I definitely had Sunday scaries about going back to school, and I took some medication. So anything that's in that tie-dye sort of groovy font, that is a custom from Plannahannah. The next thing I marked is that it was Earth Day, and I used Earth Day ghost sticker and that foil sticker. Those are both from Carly Plans. I did do speech therapy all morning because that's my jam. And I used these conversation hearts from Carly Plans in different colors just to mark that for the rest of the week. I had a lot of paperwork I had to catch up on, and so I used the Sweet Avis paper to mark that along with a Carly Plans custom paperwork that I had made. And then I just marked that I was really grateful for my husband. I was with him um, all evening, and that is a beautiful Mess Plans Co. sticker, and that I just used with my love. And then I marked that I took my meds, and I used a little doctor stethoscope from the Malibu bundle and my meds. So then on Wednesday, I did not sleep super well the night before. I was really exhausted, and I could not get over it. But I did have to take a shower, and I should have, I mean, I'm glad that I showered because I needed to be clean and everything. But this was Special Olympics Day. So I got really, really dirty anyway, running around in the sun. Um, But I did mark that I took a shower, and I used this little candle to mark that. I don't like candles while I shower, but I figured it was kind of relaxing. I did go to Starbucks in the morning just to get myself all revved up, and that mini coffee sticker is from Carly Plans, and then the Starbucks run is from that bundle. So I did do some speech therapy first thing in the morning, but then I spent the majority of the day at Special Olympics. For those of you who don't know what Special Olympics is, public schools worked with students who have who are in self-contained classrooms and they have special needs, and they are allowed to compete in the Special Olympics, which are held throughout the district, and all these different schools come. And we had some fifth grade buddies who came with our kids as well. And our kids had a blast. They ran relays and races. They did baseball tosses and long jumps, and we got to have lunch outside, and it was the cutest thing ever. I had such a blast, and this was my first year I was actually able to attend Special Olympics. I'm invited every year, but because of all the therapy sessions and I'm an itinerant SLP, I have to be in many places at once. It has never really worked out. So I was really, really glad I was able to go. Then the kids came back to school and they had this great parade, and it was so fantastic. All the kids were lined up to welcome them back. It was great. Um, so I did go to Publix afterwards and got my regular Wednesday shopping. I took some meds, and then I did go to book club, and it was held at Primal Brewery, which is this local brewery right near where we live. And I hadn't read the book, but it was fun to see everyone. And I drank non-alcoholic beer and I ate popcorn, and it was lovely. So I think we're going there again for our May. It's easy because then nobody has to host, and we can just hang out. But I mean, I like when we host in the neighborhood because that's a little bit more fun, but it's nice to go and just enjoy it. Then on Thursday, I do most of my speech therapy in the morning, and then I usually reserve the rest of the day for paperwork and evaluations and things like that. So I did mark my speech therapy, and then I used the stick with a plan sticker to mark that I did session notes, and I actually just cut my session notes thing in half so I could stack it, and I think it looks great like that. Um, and then I also had to work on another eval report for IEPs that were coming up. I just had so much going on this week. And then I got home and I was tired AF. Like I could not move. I kind of hit the couch and I just couldn't even think. So I went to bed super duper early, and I used these bunny slippers from Scribble Prints Co. to mark that, along with a bed early sticker from Carly Plans in font Duo 1. And then obviously I took my medication before I went to bed. But there you have it. Lots of things to mark for Friday. So Friday was my brother-in-law's birthday. So I had this custom happy birthday sheet from Plannahannah, which I think is brilliant. It just says happy birthday, and then you get to choose the font and the foil. And so I had chosen Pixie Hollow and this font with stars in it. So I got a year's worth of stickers for all my friends and family's birthdays. And I'm actually coming to the end of that, so I should probably place another order. It was also trash day, so I did mark that for some reason. Not really sure why I felt the need to mark that, but I did do speech therapy all day. I had a monster headache, though, that started around 2 o'clock and it turned into a migraine and it was horrendous. So I did mark that using a stick with a plan code sticker, and then that script is from Carly Plans. I get a lot of headaches, especially migraines. For anyone who gets migraines, like my heart goes out to you because migraines suck and they kind of take over everything. Um, I think I got home and I just crashed really, really hard. Um, it was just exhausting. I can't remember what I was watching. I'm sorry, I don't have my planner in front of me. I should have grabbed it. Not my planner, my bullet journal before I started laying this stuff down. But I did binge watch TV for a while. I think we were watching, oh, I remember. We were watching Love on Spectrum. Uh, and I had started rewatching it from season one because it had been so long since I'd watched it. So I did a little YouTube binge, watched some of my favorite Plan With Me's, and then I read on my Kindle and I took some meds. And that was my Friday. Um, and then Saturday, was my sister-in-law's birthday. So those two people are married to each other and they have birthdays one right after the other, which I think is hilarious. Um, so they like celebrate their birthdays together, which is kind of cute. So it was her birthday, so I marked that first. I did get up early and I made, for some reason it's always easier for me to get up early on Saturday mornings. I don't know why, but it's just, I guess when you don't have the obligation of working, it's easier to get up. So I did make avocado toast, which is my usual. I do whole wheat bread, lox, smoked salmon, really, and then I took a shower and I decided I had to go to the library. It had been really a long time since I'd been to the library. I did some shopping at Target really quick. And when I say really quick, I mean I literally had 2 minutes between finishing checkout and then having to go to my wax appointment. But thankfully, they were really close together. They were like on opposite ends of the shopping mall, but I am a New Yorker and I hustle and I got there just in time. So it's fine. We did have movie night this night. I couldn't fit the movie marquee in. It was just too many things to mark. And so, um, and I can't remember what movie we watched this night, which is really disappointing. And that's the bummer of having the script. I'd rather put the actual thing that I did in. The problem is if I custom ordered scripts for every week, A, it would be really expensive, and B, I would probably be more behind in my Plan With Me's than I already am. So it just would create more stress for me, I think, than is worth it. So I don't do it. I ended up changing that. Was that a clue as to why I put that in there? I cannot remember, but I don't think it was. Okay. Anyway, on Sunday morning, on Sunday I marked a lot actually. So let's see, what did I do? I had cuddle time with my husband and the kitties. So I used a little paw print for that. I made French press coffee and pancakes, and my husband um, made eggs, which is always fun. Um, I cleaned the house, like really, really cleaned the house because I was going to be having my procedure done the following week, and I didn't know how much movement and mobility I was going to have after that. So I wanted to make sure that the house was spotless. I vacuumed and listened to music and audiobooks, and it was very satisfying. I also cleaned the kitchen top to bottom, like removed. This is probably how most people clean, but I moved appliances. I like deep cleaned the kitchen. So I did attempt to FaceTime my parents on the 27th. They did not pick up the phone, but I did attempt to do it. And then I filmed a plan with me. I usually film them on Saturdays and Sundays. And I actually got some happy mail, which was really exciting. And then I just spent the rest of the day with Frank. And then I also wanted to mark that I took my meds, but I didn't feel like using a whole flag for that. So I just stuck the script right on the bottom with a little bow. And it's very subtle, but it's there. And that is the whole week. So, oh, I got a little ahead of myself. Sorry. I will say I love these tiny little icons in Scribble Prints Co.'s like script sheet. I think that was one of the like free bundles that I got a long time ago, and so I would never ever in a million years have picked hot pink to have as a foil on hand. But the hot pink plus the green looks fantastic, and I'm so glad I did it. The only thing is there are no full reinforcers for these bundles, so you either have to use your own or make your own. But here's a slow pan of the full week as it came together. I think this was very cohesive, and I love the way that this turned out. And so we're just going to zoom out so you can see the full spread. And yeah, that's phenomenal, especially if you look at the previous Plan With Me week. And I think just for a second, I'll show you a little bit more of the spread. You can really see the solid underlay up at the top where the Tuesday is because I didn't use as much. But thanks so much for watching and have a great week. Bye.